What's up, guys? Dynasty. Yeah, so over the last 2 weeks, I got a chance to sit down and listen to some interviews where I could submit some Mortal Kombat questions for the cast and crew to answer. I got to see them in a Zoom call. Unfortunately, I wasn't allowed to actually ask my question. There was a moderator there, and there was like 10 content creators, streamers, YouTubers also just listening in to see their questions answered, and one of mine got answered, though I submitted like 10. It is what it is. It could have been better, but hey, it was actually during my chance sitting down with Lewis Tan, who is Cole Young, and Jax Briggs, who is played by Mehcad Brooks. There's even a part that kind of caught me off guard, because apparently Joe Taslim, who plays Sub-Zero, is like the GOAT at Mortal Kombat, and Mehcad Brooks kind of issues a challenge to several content creators saying that he could beat us in Mortal Kombat. Big thank you to WB for making this happen, for inviting me to sit down and listen and ask some questions to the cast and crew. If you guys enjoy this, please take a second, drop a like on the video. The first question is mine, then after that, it's other questions from the sit-down media press conference junket. So again, subscribe for some more MK content here on the channel. You guys enjoy the full interview, because I know I did. It was by far highlights of my YouTube journey. It was really cool to see this, to sit down, to listen, to watch. It was great. See you guys later. Have a good one. Peace.
I would say that the Mortal Kombat game in itself was an inspiration in a way, because I'm playing a new character, right? So, and I'm in this world with all these iconic, very thought out, deeply layered characters. And I don't want to get lost. One, I don't want to get lost. Two, I want to deliver something to the fans that's not just another character to kind of show the world of Mortal Kombat through. I want Cole to have an authentic presence. So physically and emotionally, that was my goal, to deliver that as an actor and as a martial artist. Authenticity, truth, groundedness, and I want people to walk away from this and think that that was a really enjoyable character that has earned his place in this world, in this franchise, you know? So the energy of the game itself, knowing about the game, I've been playing the game since I was a kid. And so kind of knowing the tone and the vibe of what works really well for Mortal Kombat helped a lot. And yeah, there was some characters in the, there's some characters in the game that I pulled from, in different ways, in different aspects. And then, yeah, Jorge Masvidal, his body language, he's like a salt of the earth kind of gritty fighter that used to fight bare knuckle boxing in people's backyards. And I like his hustling mentality. I like his grit and his determination to succeed, and no matter what, you know. And I feel that way as an actor. I feel that way as an Asian person who's in this business that's predominantly controlled, you know, by Caucasian people. And in Hollywood for a long time, we wouldn't even get a shot. So there's a lot of similarities to contrast for Cole. He wants to find his place, and he wants to, you know, prove himself, and he wants his shot at becoming someone. And I feel like I pulled from all those things and more.
So Jax being this iconic character, there's pressure involved whenever you're playing somebody that people particularly have as an extension of their motor skills or their nervous system, because they're actually controlling the character. So they're going to have a strong opinion about what that character is to them. And you know, as an actor, you take that into consideration, but at the same time, like, I'm such a huge fan of Mortal Kombat myself. Like, I wanted this character to succeed as much as anybody else did. So we brought that fandom within ourselves to the roles and to set every day. What I did as an actor to prepare was, a lot of Jax is about his backstory. Like, so who do you have to be to hunt monsters? You got to be a monster. Well, how'd you get there? Well, he was Special Forces, but how do you go from being Special Forces to SEAL Team 6, or on the team that goes and gets El Chapo or something like that, to advancing and graduating to hunting multi-dimensional ninjas and monsters and stuff like that. And I always go back to this Ernest Hemingway quote that I'm gonna butcher, which is once you've hunted and killed trained men long enough, you have little appetite for anything else. And that's when we meet Jax, that's where he's at. He's become a monster to catch monsters. And I kind of put him through a therapy session. I journaled as him. I was like, well, what did I have to go through? Like, how many people did he have to commit fatalities on to get to where he's at? What does that do to a person? Like, what's his mind state? And at the same time, walk that fine line of being big enough to be a video game character, but also based in physics and based in reality enough to come off as a real person. So it was fun, a lot of fun. Man, I mean, there's a couple, but I think Ermac is incredible. Just the power, right? Just like almost having these almost like these X-Men type superpowers. That'd be amazing. But I also grew up. I mean, I grew up playing with Scorpion a lot, and I was Scorpion like 5 Halloweens in a row as a kid, to the point where my family made fun of me, and so they were like, "Yo, so I guess Mehcad's going to be Scorpion again for Halloween." So I would say Ermac or Scorpion for sure.
When we were on set, there was this one time we were in the costume department area where they have all the wardrobe and stuff, and we go in at different times, so it's not like too busy and too crazy in there. But one time I saw Mehcad, and he was in there, and he was just holding the Scorpion mask, and I just saw like a small tear fall from his eye. He just put it back down.
And I was like, are you guys sure that you casted this yet? Have you casted this? Have you casted Scorpion yet? I was like, it could be kind of a cool twist to make Scorpion a brother. You know what I'm saying?
I'd be down for that. I'd be down for that. That's a great question. Okay, look. There's a lot of characters that I thought about that I would want to play. Realistically, if I were to cast myself, I think it'd be cool to play Kenshi, because I'm pretty proficient with a sword, and I just like his story, and I like the idea of playing blind and stuff. And then, but if I were to cast myself for fun, I would want to play Smoke, because I think we could do some really cool stuff with him. And when I was young, when I was playing the video game, I'd always play with Smoke, just because he was just a badass ninja with a gray outfit, and he could just and disappear. And I was like, yep, that's it. And so yeah, that'd be kind of cool to bring to the big screen and do it in the kind of the tone that we did this movie in. Maybe I can figure that out for the sequel. We'll see.
Also, I'm not mad at Kotal Khan. Like, I'm like, like the whole Mayan sort of just like.
Yeah, I could see you doing that, man.
I could pull off the Kotal Khan. Like, I mean, obviously,
One time when we were filming for Mehcad's birthday, this is actually a true story. I came over to his crib, and he was like decked out in like Kotal Khan beads and like all this crazy stuff. And like we sat down, and he had this like sound healer come in, and they were playing these like gongs and everything.
That's true. It's true.
I was like, took me to another realm. It was crazy.
Yeah, man.
So I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of dress like Kotal Khan in my real life, anyway. Like at home. It's true. It is what it is. I'm all dressed up right now, but yeah, catch me at the Kotal crib. I think we'll see. So the interesting thing that I really loved about Arcana was that it comes from a place of how you respond to something horrible, or the traumatic intervention that happens to the character, right? So there's something that's really traumatic that makes the character, that stops the pattern of the character, and then all of a sudden they respond in a way that's heroic. And so I think mine is the same as Jax in some ways, where like his story and my story are alike in some ways, where life had torn me down in some ways, had really delivered me some trauma. And I got hit by a car in 2011, and I went into a coma. 2 years earlier than that, on the same day, I had a near-death experience where I flatlined in the hospital. But whatever happens to your physical body, that doesn't mean it happens to your heart, right? So that's kind of what's happening with Jax in the movie, in that, like, his physical body is it's just not working. It's completely broken, and his heart carries him through. And that's actually happened to me in my life. And so I think we have the same Arcana.
Well, that's going to be hard to follow, but
I should have won second.
Nah, bro, that's incredible. That's an incredible story, man. I think that, look, we all feel, like Mehcad said it really beautifully, but I think that we all feel, especially as, like, diverse actors and people in an industry that's not set up for you in any way, shape, or form. We're constantly fighting this feeling, and it's this determination, and it's this unrelentlessness that, finally, like, you start to see some change and you start to see some breakthrough. I think that, like Mehcad was saying, the Arcana concept comes from this idea that, like, with pressure, you can either, be crushed, or you can create diamonds out of the pressure. I stole that from my boy here, but yeah, man, it's like, but I do feel that way. And it's also kind of like, that's how I feel in real life too. So it's one of those things where you look at these posters up in all over Hollywood, and all over the world, actually, of all these diverse actors in these crazy cool, roles where they're playing badasses and heroes. And then at the same time, you're watching the news and you're seeing, the Black Lives Matter movement, you're seeing the Stop the Asian Hate, and it's a crazy concept. It's a crazy feeling. The movie's so perfectly timed that it's only the universe that can align this type of thing for this current time. And I'm not saying that, like, Mortal Kombat is the solution to this. Obviously, that's not what it is. But seeing ourselves in a different light, and seeing ourselves, be included in the culture, and especially in this way, is very powerful. And so I'm proud of that. So yeah, my Arcana would be consistency and persistence, and the pursuit of breaking boundaries.
Yeah, I would say my favorites were Scorpion and Jax, actually. Like I mentioned before, I think I messed this up before, but I think what it was I was Scorpion and then Superman for Halloween every year for like 10 years. So it was like Scorpion and Superman, Scorpion. Superman. So, like, those were my go-tos. And I remember one of my earliest memories with Mortal Kombat was we got the home version of the game, and I remember we were, like, eating pizza on the floor and, like, playing the game, me and my brothers and everything, and then, like, we're going crazy, and then, like, it's 8 p.m. and I think I played that game until 10 o'clock in the morning, and my mom came out, like, to make us breakfast and, like, Saturday morning cartoons and all that kind of stuff, and I was like, and she's like, "Did you sleep?" And I was like, saying lines from the video game instead of answering her. I'm like, "Finish him." She's like, "Well, who are you?" So that's who I was. Yeah, I was the kid playing all night.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I mean, I have three younger brothers, so I grew up in a household where we played a lot of video games. Mortal Kombat was one of those games for years. I remember playing Mortal Kombat Trilogy. I don't know which game I played first. I played all three of the first three. I remember distinctively playing all those with my brothers, but Trilogy was just the game that we had. That was the one that we played the most. And I just remember there being, like, so many different characters. And then after you realize that there was other things besides the fatalities, there was, like, animalities and babalities and friendships, like you, and every character had their own one. I remember like printing this like big old spreadsheet. I'm supposed to be like doing homework, and I remember this like, I forget this website. It's like cheat game shark website, whatever it's called. And you get it, and then like you print it all, and then like you would have like all the cheats and all the codes for all the moves, and I just sit there and like try to do them all. I think that's one of the things that makes Mortal Kombat so interesting is the creativity of it all, and how much time you could actually spend trying new techniques and new moves and stuff. So yeah, it was a big part of my childhood, and my mom didn't like me playing it. So, haha, mom. Look at me now.
You know what? Honestly, like I never imagined it. Like it didn't occur to me. But at the same time, when I first got the audition, and I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but I just said to myself, well, this is it. Like I got this. And it was more like, it wasn't a confidence thing as much as it was an ambition thing, and that I was going to work. And you know, listen, there's you put in the work, you put in the work in the audition, you put in the work in the quantum, but you also there's a lot of luck involved as well, right? And so I'm not saying that like, oh well, this is my role as soon as I saw it, but like something felt right when I read the name Jax at the top of the audition, where it just sort of felt like second nature, and it kind of felt like a future memory in a way. I was kind of like, huh. I was like, yeah, this feels right. This seems right. And it just sort of flooded back to me how much this game had been part of my life my entire life. And like I just it was in the back of my consciousness, but it wasn't like something that I planned on doing or expected to do. I didn't even know that they were going to make a movie. But once I got the audition, I was like, oh, I got to get this. I got to. So.
Well, it seems like you manifested that and the Superman thing as well. So you must have some sort of skill when it comes to that. Well, not must. I know you do, because we've talked about it. But yeah, I mean, for me, it was a little different. I mean, look, as someone who, you know, most of my career has been based around these action movies, and I'm very particular with the movies that I choose to do and the shows that I choose to do, because I want to make sure that I preserve the authenticity and the legacy of my father's work and everything that he did before me, and the martial artists who I've trained with my whole life. I don't just take stuff just to take stuff. My team will tell you that, because they've been very frustrated with a few different decisions. But I wasn't sure the way that they were going to go with this film. So when I first got it, I was hesitant to take it, to take the audition, because I just didn't want to be that dude that messed up Mortal Kombat remake. You know, that just like that would be a step back for me. And you know, I'm happy with the work that I've chosen so far, and happy with the way that it's came out. And so yeah, I was hesitant about it until I spoke to the director, Simon, who played me the Benjamin Wallfish score. So the first thing I ever heard in this entire process was the music. And
Same
I was
here.
like, yeah. And I was like, wow, okay. I see, I got a clear idea of the tone that they want to go for here. And then hearing Simon talk about Mortal Kombat so passionately, I was like, okay, this man knows about Mortal Kombat. He's not just like walking up in here, like, you know, trying to direct this movie. But then I had to also discover like what they were going to do with the action and how that was going to play out. And if I could be a part of that collaboration in any way, and what was the deal with that, you know, the choreography, how this was going to get done. And then they hired freaking Joe Taslim. And I was like, dude, they're making all the right choices. I'm like, this is like lining up to be something really incredible. And is it going to be that? And there's always that like nervousness. Anyway, I took the audition and got the part. And once I did, I just like seeing what they've done with this project and how much everyone on set cares and loves. Like Joe Taslim could probably beat like 8 out of 10 people that are good at the game. He is amazing at the game, and there's a lot of people on set that care deeply about it. You know, go ahead. What are you gonna say?
I was gonna say, I dare you, any of you gamers, to challenge Joe Chaslam to playing Mortal Kombat. He will whoop your ass.
He's no joke. Look at, they're all like, let's go.
I'm telling you, Joe Chaslam
he'd be down. He'd be down.
Ass.
We'll figure something out. We'll figure something out. We'll all play. But
Joe
yeah,
Chaslam, beat that ass. Go ahead, bro.
So,
okay.
So yeah, to answer the question,
go ahead,
Ken. The authenticity and the respect for the intention behind everyone's motivations for being in this movie, not just as diverse actors who want to prove themselves, who want to represent, you know, their culture and represent the picture of them that people have in their minds in a different way, but not only that, like truly people that love this franchise and truly people that want to make this franchise, you know, a big Marvel universe type of thing, and you know, a Mortal Kombat universe, if you will. So MKU, baby. So yeah, we did our best for that, and the response has been overwhelming. So, and you guys have helped a lot with that. So thank you all, because
thank you.
We watched all your videos, and you know, the reactions, and even just like everything that comes out new that you guys respond to really helps promote the film. So we appreciate it.
And we appreciate the love and support that you guys have for the movie, because honestly, like that's the first inclination that we know we did a good job. Yeah. Is that the true fans are like 100%. 100%. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for us, because we're true fans too, right? So like it lets us know that you guys are the first line of defense. So we really appreciate it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So thank you very much.
And we consistently thought about that on set. When we were making decisions, we were like, oh no, people are gonna hate this. People are gonna hate this. Let's just do this. You know what I mean? So we all thought about it from the top to the bottom, from the producers to the directors to ourselves. We would argue about it. We'd be Googling stuff, checking things out. You know what I mean? Like,
which reminds me, when you guys watch the movie again, because I know you will, there's a fight scene between me and Sub-Zero. Look at the graffiti in the background.
That's just one. There's so many.
I'm just gonna say, look at the graffiti in the background. There's so many Easter eggs.
I gotta watch it again.
look at the graffiti in the background, and like when the more you watch the movie, you're gonna see that there's stuff in there. There's Easter eggs in there for the real fans and the gamers.
Okay, so there's a scene too, you know, in the beginning when Cole goes into the burger restaurant, and the menu on the wall. Just look at the menu on the wall. Like it's. We're
not gonna tell you what it is.
I mean, just the Easter eggs in this movie are endless. I got pictures of it all that eventually I'll post up. But the attention to detail and the Easter eggs are incredible. So watch it on IMAX so you could get a better look.
We'll definitely have to. Well, Mehcad, Lewis, thank you so much. Thank you for what you bring to these characters, and thank you so much for taking the time today. We appreciate it.
Thank you all, and thank you all for your support. Seriously, it means a lot. We watch all the videos, so
we love it. Yeah, I recognize all your faces, so thank you. I appreciate that.
Dynasty for years now, GTA, MK, and Justice. I'm still down. Rapper meets gamer. I wonder how y'all feel now. That was just a setup. Watch it get real now. Okay, so me and Sub-Zero was born in '92, and lyrically I inherited all his fighting moves. A lot of y'all still lost, don't have the slightest clue. The truth disappears in the smoke as if you fighting Noob.